Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Starting things off, all month long, you will be seeing some of your favorite programs from throughout the years replaying on TV and on the radio. Arguably, the most popular Civic Center TV series on YouTube is A Minute with Nature, a program produced in partnership with West Bloomfield Parks. WB Parks and Recreation Commission Chairperson Robert Brooks introduces one of your favorite episodes on the show in this Civic Center TV classic.
Hello, and welcome to Civic Center TV Classics. I'm West Bloomfield resident and Parks and Recreation Commission Chairperson Robert Brooks. I invite you to join in as Civic Center TV celebrates 40 years of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission. As the chair of the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Commission, I know how much Greater West Bloomfield loves its local nature and wildlife. Highlighted in one of Civic Center TV's most popular programs ever, A Minute with Nature, where Lauren Azori talks about some of what makes the nature of our community so special. Let's enjoy one of your favorite segments.
Hello and welcome to Minute with Nature. I'm your host, Lauren Azuri, the Park Naturalist for West Bloomfield Parks. And today we're here inside our nature room talking about the state symbols of Michigan. Lots of state symbols were established early in the 1900s, and one of those was our state bird, the robin. It's a very common bird here in the state of Michigan and can be easily seen and watched. They're a fun bird to watch because they do eat lots of worms, and they can eat up to 14 feet of worms in a day. That's a lot of worms for one little bird. Another way to figure out where robins are at, if you want to see them or view them, you can look for their nests in the early spring. Robin nests are pretty abundant here in our area. Different birds use different materials to build their nest. The robin uses a mud base. So you'll notice a nest that has this thick mud and then lots of grasses on the inside and surrounding it on the outside. Sometimes they'll even use string and yarn and things from other people. This one even has like a little trash bag put into it, as well as some birch bark. But for the most part, it's a mud base with the grasses put on the inside. Also, those beautiful blue eggs that they lay in there in the early spring is an identifier as well. The state reptile of Michigan is the painted turtle. The painted turtle became our state reptile in 1995. When a 5th grade class realized we didn't have one, they passed a bill for the painted turtle to become our state turtle. They're an aquatic turtle, can be found mostly by water and usually sunning themselves on logs. The reason they get their name painted turtle is because they have this beautiful shell. This is the shell from a painted turtle. You can notice along the edges there's a lot of detail and patterning that's on their shell, and that's a big identifier for the painted turtle. The state tree of Michigan is our white pine tree. The white pine tree is a great symbol for Michigan. It identifies one of the main industries that we were known for years ago, and that's the Michigan lumber industry. To identify a white pine tree versus other pine trees we might have here like the red pine, you pluck a little bundle of needles off the tree and it will have 5 needles in one bundle. And that also stands for WHITE. So 5 needles means our white pine tree, which is our state tree. The state game mammal of Michigan is the white-tailed deer. The white-tailed deer became our state game mammal in 1997, and that was decided by a 4th grade class. They found out that there was a white-tailed deer in every county in Michigan, and that's why it makes a great symbol to be represented here in Michigan. We have lots of white-tailed deer, and they stay here all season long. So you can see them in the spring, summer, winter, and fall. There are lots of other state symbols of Michigan. We have a state fossil as well as a state wildflower, but we don't have a state insect. We're one of only 3 states in the whole United States that do not have a state insect. But right now, a resident of Kegel Harbor, someone here in the Greater West Bloomfield area, is trying to get a bill passed for the monarch butterfly to become our state insect. So stay tuned, because hopefully soon Michigan will have a new state insect. And that's your Minute with Nature.
The celebration of 40 years of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission continues online. Follow along on social media and enjoy television that's close to home online on civiccentertv.com. I'm Robert Brooks. Thank you for tuning in.
And as Lauren Azori mentioned in that segment, WB Parks hosts a native plant sale every year to help you help the environment and your garden too. This year's sale is coming up, so mark your calendars. It'll be Saturday, May 17th, 9 a.m. to 12 noon at Marshbank Park for pickup. Pre-orders begin on WBParks.org. That'll be May 10th, by the way. The celebration of 40 years of the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Commission continues all month long on CivicCenterTV.com and across our social media. So let us know your favorite shows from over the years, and maybe we'll toss them into the mix as well. Is your child in the correct car seat? There's new child seat laws that started this week. Big changes are officially here for child passenger safety in Michigan. As of April 2nd, updated laws now require children to be secured in a car seat that matches their height and weight. This is according to manufacturer guidelines on the seats that you purchase. With vehicle crashes being the #1 cause of death for young children, proper restraints can cut the risk of fatal injury by up to 50%. Whether it's a rear-facing seat, booster, or seat belt, knowing the right fit for your child can make all the difference. You can learn more about the updated laws on the Michigan's website, michigan.gov/car seats for more information. Before the Detroit Tigers hit the diamond at Comerica Park, the West Bloomfield Lakers have been hard at work bringing baseball fever close to home. And our very own Civic Center TV reporter, Jake Schaff, has the story.
Spring has sprung here in West Bloomfield, which means baseball season has officially arrived. The West Bloomfield Lakers baseball season is officially underway with a stacked team of players ready to round the bases and hit some home runs. I had the chance to speak with the Lakers coaches and some of their players to hear just what the sport of baseball means to them.
I'm really excited, playing that first game before spring break it got the boys pumped up, especially a walk-off win like we had. It was really fun to be back out here on the field playing baseball again. Especially being our senior year, we haven't won districts yet, the group. So that's the biggest goal here is win districts and then hopefully make a run in the playoffs.
What is it about the sport of baseball that has gotten your attention and that has gotten you so motivated to be a part of this team?
I would say kind of the fact that it's both a team game and an individual game. Your individual success helps contribute to the team success, and you're with your teammates. You're all fighting together for one common goal. So I love that aspect of the game. This is a team, I think we have 13, 14 seniors, so we've all grown together throughout the past 4 years. I really think we have something special here, and we're going to be able to make a run in the tournament. So we've all grown together, and I'm really excited for this year.
My whole family plays baseball. My dad played at Central Michigan. My brother plays at Michigan State right now, and I've just played baseball since I was 5 years old, and I've had a love for the game for a while now. All 3 years that I've been here, we've been very good, and it's been a blessing being here and winning a lot of games and having fun.
What is it about the sport of baseball that fascinates you more than any other sport?
It's such a game of failure. It's really going to test you mentally and physically, and the strong ones are the ones that are able to survive. And I love being a part of it every day and the competitive atmosphere that it brings out of every single coach and every single player. Every year has been exciting. We've been lucky to have really good players and really good kids, and this is another team that has both those components, and we're looking to do some really special things this year. So yeah, we're excited to say the least.
And of course, with Tiger season officially underway right here in Michigan, that's just even more of a reason for everybody to get excited for the sport of baseball right now, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, the Tigers gave us a lot of fun times last year, and a lot of people have jumped back on the bandwagon, so to say, and to see it develop and get more fan base going and the hype going, it's nice to see. It really is.
What do you have to say about your relationship with Coach Bernberg?
Coach Josh, I've known him. My brother played here. I was still in middle school. So Josh, I've known him for a while. He was a basketball coach in 7th grade for me. Played for his summer team last year, so I've had a good relationship with him.
We got a lot of guys heading to the next level to play, all kids that have really been playing for me for the last 3 or 4 years. So really cool to see their growth throughout the program and them to be little kids coming in basically and now grown men for the most part. So exciting to see how much their journey has been just a phenomenal experience for them here and how much we have to look forward to for what they're going to do at the next level and beyond. It's honoring and humbling for me to have a real small part in the success that these kids have and to watch them go through their journey and see where they came from and where they're at now. So like I said, I'm honored, I'm humbled, I'm blessed to be around them every single day, and I'm going to cherish and love every single moment that this season brings.
It's sure to be an incredible baseball season for the sport's many fans, as well as an incredible swan song for some of the Lakers' top seniors. And their success is truly a reflection of a coach who truly cares about these players and wants to see them go all the way. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Thank you so much for that story, Jake. And you can keep up on West Bloomfield High School athletics right here on the Splash Live, and learn more about game times all season long on westbloomfieldathletics.com. Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant in Keego Harbor is hosting a special celebration for Detroit Tigers opening day on Friday, April 4th. The celebration aims to bring together local sports fans and residents from Greater West Bloomfield. We recently spoke with the executive chef of Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Rocco Santia, to tell us more about the celebration and how it brings the community together. From Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant is executive chef Rocco Santia. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you having me.
No, absolutely. Always a pleasure having you on. So first and foremost, we all celebrating and getting ready for the celebration of opening day. Can you just talk about the inspiration behind Gino's Pizza even wanting to host some type of special festivity for the event?
Yeah, I mean, opening day is about the Tigers and all that, but it's also the start of spring and warmth and the restaurant business. That's always a great sign. Mother Nature determines when we get busy again, and it's a great start to the warmth and busy time for us. And Tigers opening day is just one of the things that we look forward to. Our patrons here are incredibly loyal to us. Anytime we do something like this, they come out. Last year we did this and had a bunch of people that don't normally come to Gino's but heard about it from your interview with my father last year. And again, they support us in everything we do, and we're looking forward to giving back and doing some of this again.
I know, right? Such a great time. And like you said, it just opens up Metro Detroit and just lets us know 'tis the season for spring and April in the D. And it's a great time overall. So can you just further explain how the celebration, you all celebrating having these festivities, overall reflects your connection to Greater West Bloomfield and Keego Harbor?
Well, we do a lot of things like this that are free to the community. We do car shows and Tigers bus trips, and we've been here 55 years, and I can't say it enough, Kevin. Our patrons are so loyal and true to us that anything we do, they always come out and support us. It makes us feel good doing things like this and seeing the turnouts, and it's just a feel good thing for us. We love doing it. My dad Gino has always been a big Tigers fan, and so there was an extra incentive to do this year after year, and we put out some chili dogs, and the games are on, and do some pools and stuff, and everybody knows everybody. It's just a fun vibe. It's a great feeling. It's a fun day for us.
Oh my goodness, you already said something that made me hungry. I want to further dive into that, but with us right here live on The Splash, executive chef and from the management team of Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant in Kego Harbor, we have Rocco Santia talking about their upcoming Tigers opening day festivities. So you just gave it a little bit away, some chili dogs. I'm already excited for that. What other things are we all expecting? Any special menu items you're offering for the festivities?
Not necessarily for that. We don't open until 3. We're opening early just for the game itself. So you got to have Coney dogs for a Tigers game. You're going to put some peanuts and stuff out there, but it's more about just coming and watching the game. And again, just another thing that people ask for it and look forward to it. So we do it.
No,
it's simple, Kevin.
Yeah, and just like we said, even though the team plays in downtown Detroit, it spreads out to all local areas of Metro Detroit, and we all like to take part in it because the blood of the Tigers, the Lions, the Pistons, it runs in all of us. But for you to be a local business and take the time to do something like this, like you said, you even opened it earlier for this. It just goes to show your dedication to it. So can you further explain the role that supporting local sports cultures plays in your overall business strategy?
Yeah, it's the sports plays a huge part in businesses. When the Lions were thriving, all the businesses did well. When they lost that playoff game, a lot of businesses, were disappointed in the revenue that was lost. It's a big influence, especially in Detroit, where we're passionate about our teams, and we support them win and lose, and Tigers are just one of those things. So it's the first home game of the year, and like you said, Kevin, it doesn't. They're playing in Detroit, but it spreads out throughout the state, even outside of the state. You got Tigers fans all over the place. So it's just one of those things that we look forward to.
Yes, we're all looking forward to it. Like we said, something that you all have been doing as a tradition at this point that we all look forward to participating in and coming and bringing in the season as well. Don't want to hold you up too much longer. Just any additional information about Gino's, future events, or the Tigers opening day festivities that you want to give to the community.
We post a lot of stuff on our Facebook. If you follow us on Facebook, we do patio bands on Friday nights, and like I said, we do a Tigers bus trip. We boast a 99% return rate on that. We seem to lose one person every year, not by a tomfoolery or anything. Sometimes, like last year, one guy just met his wife down there and didn't come back with us. So we take 100 people and usually get 99 back. It's kind of a funny thing that goes along with it. But we'll do a car show in the summer, and again, we try to do things for the patrons and community best we can. We've been here 55 years, and my dad, Gino, and his sister, Irene, they're very giving people. They like to do a lot of things for the community that it doesn't matter if we get return revenue from it. It's just something that they like to do. They've always been that way. So we post those things on Facebook, try to come up with some new stuff here and there. And, it's about the people. Like I said, we've been here 55 years, Kevin, and our relationship with our customers goes way beyond here's your bill and what would you like to order. We've been at their weddings. They come to our houses. They've been on, functions that we do socially that aren't involved with Gino's it's a weird place how the relationship has evolved into way more than a patron worker relationship. As far as that day, we'll open the doors at noon. We'll have the chili dogs ready and the game on, the volume up, and like I said, we'll do some goofy little pools and give some prizes and things like that.
Ooh.
So it's just a fun event, Kevin, and we look forward to offering that stuff to our patrons who take such good care of us. We're not unaware of how good they are to us.
Of course. I love everything that you said about it. It's making me look forward to it. And like we said, we don't know what the weather's going to be like outside. So if you want to enjoy the game inside in a great environment right here in Keego Harbor, that's exactly where you want to be. Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant. And thank you again for touching on the bus trip to Comerica Park, another tradition that you all provide right here in our area. And we appreciate you again. Don't want to hold you up, sir. Once again, Executive Chef from Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant, Rocco Santia. We appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you for including us in this.
The Detroit Tigers will host the Chicago White Sox at Comerica Park in downtown Detroit on Friday, April 4th at 1 p.m. You can find out more about the Tigers' opening day festivities at Gino's Pizzeria and Restaurant in Keego Harbor on their Facebook page. That's at 1999 Cass LK Road, just the abbreviation for Cass Lake Road. 1999 CASS LK RD. We have more information about different programs that benefits the West Bloomfield community. We'll discuss that coming up. We're live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
So much is happening in your community. Join Jake, Tyler, and Kevin for local events and developments on the Splash Live, weekdays at 10 a.m. on CivicCenterTV.com, YouTube, and Facebook.
Hey everybody, I'm Oakland County Executive Dave Coulter, and I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on surpassing 1 million views on YouTube. That's a huge milestone, and it's more important than ever in this day and age that we have good, independent, local, reputable journalism. And I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on this important milestone. I'm Dave Coulter, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
And now, back to the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. The Project Search Transition Program is a unique, community collaborative, business-led partnership. But who is the program for? Exactly what is it? And what are its goals for the community and residents of West Bloomfield? So with me right here live on the Splash to answer those questions is Project Search instructor Leah Matisse. And I want to thank you so much for being here, Leah. And let's just get straight into it. Can you just provide us an overview of what Project Search is?
Oh, sure, Kevin. I would be delighted to. So Project Search was the brainchild of Susie Rakowski and Aaron Reel back at Cincinnati Children's Hospital back in 1995. Aaron was the ER nurse there, the supervisor, and noticed like many of their patients coming in, were people that had special needs. And so their whole goal, she asked her friend Susie, who she was the transition coordinator for Hamilton County down there, what about training for jobs? And that's how it came to be. And so here in 2011, West Bloomfield School District partnered with Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, with Michigan Rehabilitation Services, and Project Search was formed. So we have been here now for 13 years, And we serve students that have an IEP that are ages 18 to 26 that have not graduated from that do not have their high school diploma, and we teach them skills it's a one school year program. So they come in, and that first month is a lot of onboarding, learning procedures and the rules. And usually at the beginning of October, going to their first rotation, where they're in the business working with team members, various in the various departments within the hospital, and they work, usually 10 to 12 weeks, depending upon how the calendar falls, until winter break generally. And then when we return back from winter break, they go into a new rotation, learning all new job tasks, working with new people. And they're in that rotation until we go to spring break, so another 10 to 11 weeks. And then we just returned back from spring break this past week. And so we are now in our third rotation until the end of the year on June 6th.
Nice.
Where they are, again, in a whole new department with different team members. So if you think about it, we are having them basically change jobs 3 times a year. So right there, you have to have confidence. The department team members are amazing, because think about when you change a job, how scary is that? And we're asking our young adults to do that 3 times during the year. So that right there builds huge independence as well. So that's a quick synopsis of what Project Search is. And our whole goal then is we are starting to work on that entry-level job where they can work independently within their community, whether it's Myers, at a assisted living place, whatever job that they can do. And we try to get it so they're working at least 16 to 20 hours, and some do work full-time. It depends upon, this.
I think we just had a brief technical difficulty with Leah Matisse. Project Search instructor, by the way, just briefly discussing a few different things in regards to Project Search, its benefits for the community and certain individuals with different challenges and disabilities as well. So we'll continue to find out, we'll continue to iron out our technical difficulties with Leah Matisse. But as she was explaining, Project Search being a program that, like we said, unique, community collaborative, works with Henry Ford Health System as well locally, and other different partnerships to help individuals who are going through different challenges as well. So as we continue to work things out, we're going to come back with more information that help you and that affects our Greater West Bloomfield community and residents. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
One scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
When the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
I'm relying on luck, but who knows if it'll be on my side.
When it comes to disasters and emergencies, it's not a matter of if, but when. Take control. 1. Assess your needs. 2. Make a plan. 3. Engage your support network. Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Coming back, talking to Project Search instructor Leah Matisse, who was just explaining the overview of Project Search, the transition program, and who it benefits overall. Just some of the individuals who may be facing challenges with their disabilities as well. So we want to welcome you back, Leah. Thank you so much again for your time. Just want to continuously talk about this subject a little bit. I want you to speak on the challenges that they're facing, some of these individuals with disabilities. Can you just speak on some of the challenges you were talking about that a lot of us kind of face different challenges with the transition of going to different workforces, different industries, different jobs. Talk about the challenges individuals with disabilities face when they're entering the workforce.
I think one thing we really try to work with our interns here, Kevin, is so that we're always focused on the disability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to help them see their abilities. We need to help them see their gifts that they bring to the community. And a lot of times we're helping their families see that and how they can benefit and what they can provide in a community workforce setting. And I think, our interns are really inspiring. One thing is that they're learning to work independently. They're also learning about teachable moments and that mistakes are good because that's how we learn. That's how we all learn. And we think of mistakes as something bad, but nobody's perfect.
Right.
And how do you learn if you don't make a mistake? And so helping them reframe that mindset that they are continuously learning. And our whole goal is, we work with students with various disabilities, whether it's autism, whether, it's Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, visual impairments. And so we are working with them for them to see themselves as a part contributing member to the hospital teams. And in those workforce settings, they're working in linens, in the kitchen, stocking alcoves, they're interacting with the public. And again, they're going off independently to rely upon themselves, going to lunch independently. And the hospital teams totally embrace our interns, and that's what makes it such a positive impact. And so getting back to your question, we really focus on how does this look like in real life and really change their mindset. And that's our whole goal that first month when we're here doing the onboarding.
Nice.
So,
and we appreciate that. Like we said, the challenges that we face just generally when we're switching jobs and things like that, I imagine that it can be heightened with people with disabilities as well. So we appreciate all that you do for our residents who are going through those challenges as well. Just to wrap up, I appreciate your time for being here. Anyone who's looking for information on Project Search, or if you want to just explain some of the things that you all are doing for this upcoming year, please give that information out now.
Absolutely. If you go to the West Bloomfield School District website and you go to click on schools and then that drop down box will go to programs. We are, our program is on that page and that'll provide information. So we are getting ready for our Skills Day interview day, and that's where various applicants it is an application-based program. And so you have to be recommended to by your transition team or, your resource room teachers if we have fifth year seniors. We also take students in from our surrounding district as well. So we open it up. Usually we only, because we're working so intimately, basically with the hospital teams, we only accept 6 to 8 interns because it is such an intense program. And that's what makes a difference to 8 interns. And so we are working hand in hand with them to become independent and help them with problem solving skills.
Right.
Instead of us providing the answer, they have to seek their own answer. So we're really at that point right now. So that's the way if people want to find out more information about our program, or they can also call our phone, which is also listed on the website, which is 248-882-0030. I am more than happy to talk about Project Search. It is such a life-changing program. Again, not only for the intern, but for the families. We truly are the bridge from school to community and helping families realize like, hey, I have a young adult here, and not looking at the disability, but at their young adult as a young adult, you know, at 24, 25. So.
Okay, well, hey, we appreciate once again all the information and the resources that you provide to our community. And once again, Project Search instructor Leah Matisse, we appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate sharing our fantastic program with everyone. So thank you for this opportunity.
It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you again. And you can once again keep up with everything Project Search related. Go directly to the West Bloomfield School District's website, wbsd.org. Oakland County is looking for volunteers for their Adopt a Road program, specifically even right here in West Bloomfield. The program is a volunteer initiative sponsored by the Oakland County Road Commission to keep Michigan's roads and environments clean. And joining me right here live on the Splash to give out more information regarding that, Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission of Oakland County, we have Craig Bryson joining the show, and I appreciate your time. Let's just get straight into it. Can you explain how this Adopt a Road program works, Craig?
Absolutely. So we ask for volunteers to come up. You adopt a segment of road. You go out. There are 3 designated cleanup periods of the year. We ask that you do at least 2 of those. It's spring, summer, and fall. We provide you with safety vests and garbage bags, some safety instructions and training. You go out, pick the date within those time frames you want to do, clean up the garbage, put it in bags, let us know. We come pick up the bags, and it's a great thing. It really benefits the environment and the communities.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward. Individuals, groups, local individuals and groups, organizations, even businesses can come together to decide to pretty much choose a specific road. Now, is it just any road in West Bloomfield or in our community, or are there specific ones? Let me clarify that before I even go into it.
Sure, it's primary roads, which means the more major roads. It's not subdivision roads. And we actually have a map on our website that you can go to and look at the map, and you can see which roads are available in your community, which roads are already adopted. You can click on the roads if you're curious and see who has adopted them. You can click on the ones that are not adopted, and it'll show you the boundaries of the road. And then you're more than welcome to sign up to adopt those roads.
Yeah, all right, cool. That seems pretty nice, as a matter of fact. I'm glad we do have programs like this. It kind of builds that sense of community. And with that being said, let's dig a little bit more into the why people should do this. In your view, what are the most significant benefits of community involvement in maintaining our roadways and local environment?
Great question. So, the challenge is we don't have the staff and the manpower to go up and clean up the litter along all of our roads. We simply don't have the ability to do that. So this is an opportunity for, concerned members of the community to participate, to give back to their community, to try to help improve their community. And it's a really positive thing. My experience in talking to people is that they really enjoy contributing to their community, beautifying their community, keeping, waste out of the environment, which is good for the environment. Right. And it's a real positive thing. We're very, very appreciative of all the groups that do this. We put up signs at both ends of the adopted section saying who's adopted it. And frankly, that's a great way to recognize either the nonprofit groups or families or businesses or politicians, whomever it is, for the great work that they do to help beautify our community and support the efforts to keep the roads looking beautiful and their communities looking beautiful.
That's so crazy that you mentioned that, Craig, because now that I think about it, that's one of those signs that you see, but you may not really pay attention to. This road has been adopted by, and it'll say the organization right underneath that. So now we're kind of connecting dots here with that. That's how those signs end up in our community. So we should take pride in organizations, or, also give kudos to the organizations and individuals who choose to do that, by the way. Something I want to ask you, this is just out of curiosity, right? We've been experiencing a lot of different storms, severe weather, I should say, as well. And with that being said, we could see a lot of tree branches, trees itself, or even debris that end up in our streets in yards. I know in some cases we shouldn't bother those, but I mean, in maybe in some other cases we should. How can local residents possibly help the road commission clean up those efforts in those areas that may be affected by severe weather?
Right. If there's a branch or a tree down in the road, please leave that to us. We don't want anybody going into the traveled roadway and putting themselves in harm's way. So please let us know, and you can do that by calling us at 877-858-4804, and we'll come out and pick those up. If there are small branches on the shoulder and you're doing your cleanup there and they're small enough to easily pick up and maybe even break down and put in your garbage bags, that's great. If they're too large, even on the shoulder, just please let us know that too, and we'll come get those. After the last couple of days of storms, we have a lot of those around. We've had a number of trees across roads that caused the roads to be temporarily closed until we could get out there and clean them up. So that's something we would prefer to do ourselves just for the safety of the public.
Okay. Glad you explained that, Craig. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought that was an obvious answer. Like, yeah, just go pick it up and go get it out the way. But we just let the professionals do it from the Road Commission of Oakland County. Thank you for explaining that. Once again, joining me right here live on The Splash, Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission of Oakland County, Craig Bryson. Just talking about the Adopt a Road program going on in Oakland County and how we can help West Bloomfield, Greater West Bloomfield, be a little bit more cleaner and pretty, just volunteering our time. And you just explained, right, when someone chooses to volunteer, you'll put up some signs that recognizes that organization or that individual that cleaned up that stretch of road, right? I just talked about recognizing that sign, but you all really don't have to do that. It's just part of the program, and I imagine it costs to put up that sign. But just overall, how do you feel like that recognition can help motivate other people to participate?
Absolutely, and there is a cost to us, but from our point of view, that's a great investment. If we get, and we appreciate the fact those people are volunteering their own time. They're going, we're not paying them. They're getting out there by them, on their own with their own time, their family members, friends, coworkers, whomever it is, and we just really appreciate that. And that's one of the least we can do, we think, is to recognize that. We have a sign shop, so we create the signs ourselves. There is staff time to go out and put them in, but we're happy to do that. It's as I said, a small price to pay to recognize those people who are kind enough to volunteer their time to go out and do something that's for the betterment of the entire community.
I respect that. I like that. Didn't even know that you all made the sign yourself. I know everything costs, so I just wanted to further explore that a little bit more. Hey, Mr. Bryson, I appreciate you being here. Just last question to kind of wrap it up. How do you envision the Adopt a Road program growing in the Greater West Bloomfield and surrounding areas?
Well, we're always looking for new volunteers. There are still plenty of roads to adopt. We've got 586 miles of roads adopted around the county right now by 378 organizations, but there's a lot still available, and we're always trying to grow the program. The more the program grows, the more beautiful each community is, the more beautiful the county is, the less contaminated the environment is. So we want to do it, and this is a great opportunity to spread that word and to try to recruit as many additional people as we can. So great opportunity to give back.
Yeah, man, I'm excited as well for more people to get out there, especially as the weather opens up. Get out there and volunteer your time to make our community very pretty. We appreciate the time and information. Once again, Senior Communications Manager for the Road Commission of Oakland County, Mr. Craig Bryson. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you, sir. Have a great day.
Yeah, you have a better one, sir. We appreciate that. Find out more information about the Adopt a Road program directly on the Road Commission of Oakland County's website, rcoc.org, to find out more about what's going on. The West Bloomfield School District is looking to open up their new transition center. The West Bloomfield School District is hosting an official ribbon cutting ceremony for its new transition center, which will be on Thursday, April 3rd. That's today, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. We actually recently spoke with Jessica Cohen, Director of Student Support Services for West Bloomfield School District, to tell us about the center and how it will service the students of West Bloomfield. To discuss this further, from the West Bloomfield School District, Director of Student Support Services, Dr. Jessica Cohen. How you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, and I addressed you correctly. I saw PhD doctor, correct?
Yes, thanks. You can call me Jessica, though.
I always like to put respect out there. So I'm out of my own curiosity, and for our audience who may not be aware, what is the West Bloomfield School District Transition Center?
Great question. So it is a program for students who are eligible for special education services and supports at the post-secondary level. So these are students ages 18 through 26. Michigan is the only state in the country that goes beyond the required age 21 for special education services. So that is what the Transition Center provides for our students.
Interesting to know. And with that being said, what type of impact do you hope this Transition Center will have on the community?
Great question. This is really a state-of-the-art facility that is built inside the high school for next year, which will allow for greater collaboration with the community. We already are participating in several job sites around the community. The students have their own micro business. So this new job site, this new workspace will allow the students to expand their micro business opportunities within the community. There's a simulated apartment, instructional kitchen, sensory room, lots of great spaces for learning.
Okay. It sounds like, and I looked at some of my notes and saw some of those too, so I want to explore that a little bit more. And how do you feel like ultimately this new transition center will enhance those opportunities for the developmentally diverse young adults compared to the previous programs at least?
Yes, the previous program, while fantastic, really was in a space that wasn't ideal for the amount of learning that needs to happen and engagement. So this space really provides that hands-on real-world opportunity. So we have like a simulated apartment. So students will have practice making the bed, right? Doing laundry. We have a demonstration kitchen. So baking food, perhaps selling to the public eventually. So all of those types of skills that this new facility allows us to do.
I think that's very, very unique and very...
When they graduate.
No, I think that's very unique and very considerate for the people in our community who need that type of assistance and help to further go on to gain independence in the real world. Yeah. I completely understand that. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, from the West Bloomfield School District, Director of Student Support Services, Jessica Cohen, just talking about the ribbon cutting ceremony for the new Transition Center, which is actually inside the West Bloomfield High School. That ribbon cutting will be Thursday, April 3rd, 5:30 to 6:30 p.m. Now, I love to talk about how we work together right here in Greater West Bloomfield, right? So can you just talk about some of the partnerships or collaborations that help make this new transition center an actual reality?
Yes, we are very grateful for the community's support and the Board of Education support in allocating significant resources to make this become a reality for our students. What I love about our district is we truly value all students birth through age 26, and that's really evident in the allocation of resources and thoughtful design that went behind the design of this program and implementation. So yeah, we're really excited about that and feel that we're just very grateful for the space. It really, I think, shows the value and that, aligns with our strategic plan and our priority objectives to have everything be meaningful, inclusive, and engaging for our students, no matter their learning environment, age, or disability or ability level.
Correct. It's a collaborative effort from all parties involved who want to have a footprint in helping, like we said, the next generation of young adults reach that independence in their adult lives. So love to hear it and see it ultimately. How do you see this transition center and the programs evolving in the future to help accommodate the needs of the West Bloomfield community?
I would love to see increased partnerships with our community. We already have several job sites where our adult learners go and work during the day. So I do think that with the increased space, there are opportunities for different job skills practice, and then even bringing community members in. We do have that demonstration kitchen, which is a new feature. So I can envision all kinds of community partnerships with that space. We have a service window for sales, so we'll be able to invite community members up to purchase our wares that the students make.
Nice.
So that would be another opportunity for increased engagement.
Yeah, and I like that. And that's another opportunity for people to support. And with that being said, are there any other ways that students, parents, staff, or just the community in general can support this new transition center?
The students are already selling their candles and their jewelry, so that's a great way to support, this grassroots kind of organization and micro business. And coming out to the ribbon cutting would be great, really, and getting to know our students and what they have to offer the community is another fantastic way to support.
Perfect. Well, you'll get all the support from us here at Civic Center TV. We'll continuously spread the word, and more than likely, we will see you out there as well. Once again, with us right here live on The Splash from the West Bloomfield School District, Director of Student Support Services, Jessica Cohen. Thank you so much for your time and information.
Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate it.
You can catch up with the details of the event and other things going on within West Bloomfield School District on their website at wbsd.org, or just make it easy and go directly to their Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools. There's been a rise in internet scams, not only just in the country, but even specifically right here in Greater West Bloomfield. And reports are indicating that victims are usually taken advantage of on dating apps, social media apps, and even career searching apps as well. So we recently spoke with West Bloomfield Police Department Detective Tim Lillard to tell us how we can protect ourselves from these possible internet scams.
Detective Tim Lillard, thank you so much for being with us, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Doing all right. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Glad to have you on to talk about this, because this is an issue that can affect anybody of any age that has some sort of connection to the web in 2025 and beyond. So presently, what are some of the more prevalent online scams that we're seeing affect residents in Greater West Bloomfield and nearby areas?
The biggest one right now is involving with WhatsApp. There's a lot of cryptocurrency, different platforms out there, and more coming every day. And here specifically in Southeast Michigan and in West Bloomfield, I've got numerous cases right now where people have gone on. One case where thought it was a dating relationship and then went over to investment stuff, and others that just propose themselves as investment for cryptocurrency and in hopes of these large returns. They're getting pretty sophisticated with having these websites showing other people potentially making all this money. They get people to invest it, and over a period of time, they keep investing more. Then when they go to try and take money out, they realize they're being scammed because they're getting asked for paying of fees from it, and it can't come from your proceeds. It's got to come from your personal account. And in reality, the whole setup is fake.
And so what are we seeing be maybe different now versus in past years as these scams sort of develop? Because as you said, people are getting a little bit more sophisticated as time goes on with the development of these scams. How is that manifesting presently?
Well, like in these platforms that they're creating, they're showing other people that are, and some of them are truly people that are investing, but unaware of the scam. And what's happening is they see these big paydays of, you invest 20, 30, 40,000 or more. And in a short period of time, your account is now up to 200,000. And so they start putting more money in. And there's people that have put $1 million in, and that money's gone. They're not in the country, but they're using Telegram and WhatsApp to communicate and getting people to transfer money overseas.
And so as people get into these situations, they do so mostly innocently from the victim's point of view, trying to better their investment portfolio, make good for their family, pay their bills, whatever the motivation may be. From the scammer side of things, what sort of is the step-by-step process that we typically see them taking that turns this from what seems on the surface like an innocent communication maybe between people in a budding friendship to ultimately being a large-scale robbery?
For sure. Yeah, no, rarely are they doing the romance stuff now, but it is still happening.
Of course.
And then getting them to invest. More so, it's like there's these investment groups on WhatsApp and Telegram, and they're never meeting anybody. They're never physically talking to somebody, no voice or video, and they're transferring money from their legitimate accounts into these other accounts through WhatsApp and Telegram. And they are elaborate where, like I said, when they try and withdraw money at some point, they're told you have to pay these fees because you've earned this money, but it can't come from your earnings. And I mean, they have actual trading lines going across their screen showing cryptocurrency moving from one place to another. So it looks legitimate enough, but in no way is it. One case alone is Cambodia, where it turns out they're at, and other, countries way outside of West Bloomfield. And people are just getting devastated because they're putting sometimes college money for their kids in there. They're very sophisticated in what they're doing.
And these are serious situations too. Like you said, these can affect people's immediate finances, their long-term finances, college funds, retirement funds. It could bankrupt you immediately depending on the scale of these scams. And so before it gets to that point where someone's in too deep, what should they be looking for as potential signs that they may be falling victim to a scam before it's too late?
Well, the very first indicator is legitimate companies aren't going to be, doing investing through WhatsApp and Telegram. There's legitimate platforms out there for doing it, like, Coinbase being probably one of the biggest ones. They're regulated, they're marketplaces. The government has things in place to make sure that funds are being tracked and legitimate people are doing it. So the biggest thing is they'll claim they're part of Morgan Stanley and other investment companies. But as you know, these companies aren't going to be doing investment portfolios through WhatsApp and Telegram.
Detective Tim Lillard is with us from the West Bloomfield Police Department as we talk about scams that are affecting people here in Greater West Bloomfield and in nearby areas, particularly when it comes to cryptocurrency. But they mirror and they are parallel to so many other different kinds of scams that we see targeting people's personal information. Even lately, people have received mailers in the Greater West Bloomfield area saying that they have overdue bills for GFL Environmental, which hasn't been the trash and recycling service for our community in several months. Now it's over at Priority Waste. And so a lot of times you get these messages, whether it's snail mail or it's email, and it looks really legit. How do you sort of decipher between when you should be providing some information to a legitimate entity and someone's trying to take that information from you?
Sure. First of all, anytime you're receiving information, you're not requesting it, question it. Don't ever click links in any type of text message or emails. Always contact these places that you deal with, or if they claim to be from a bank or a legitimate source like Morgan Stanley, call the numbers that you know. The Amazon accounts, did you authorize this charge? If not, call this phone number or click this link. And these are always going to be scams. Amazon's not going to send you that kind of stuff. IRS doesn't send you tax bills or threaten you with jail. Always contact online the legitimate companies through a phone number that you know, not what's been sent to you.
Great advice from the West Bloomfield Police Department. You can find even more of this advice on ongoing scams and others that may arise, other tactics that may arise in our community and beyond. Follow them on Facebook at West Bloomfield PD for even more information. Detective Lillard, with only a couple more minutes left with you on today's program, but for people that do end up in these situations, whether they catch it early on or they catch it after it is a bit too late in the process and they've fallen victim to these scams, what steps can be taken and what can law enforcement do to help alleviate these scenarios, if anything at all?
Well, first of all, don't be afraid or ashamed. Very educated people, all walks of life, fall for these scams, including people in cybersecurity. Report it. That's the first thing. And then go on to ic3.gov, which is the letter I, the letter C, and the number 3.gov. report it there. That's run by the FBI and other government agencies, and it allows them to collect all this data from around the country, seeing the trends, and then hopefully picking up the case and trying to track them down.
Yeah, and of course, when those scams are happening online and those funds have been moved around out of your bank accounts, in some scenarios, it can be really tough, if not impossible, to get those funds back in part or especially in full. So all the more reason to take some of this advice from Detective Lillard and the West Bloomfield Police Department to heart, and keep yourself aware of some of these ongoing tactics being used by very sophisticated people who are becoming a lot more skilled at enacting these scams as time goes on. Detective Lillard, anything else for us today?
And just, get in, make the reports. Don't ever pay, they'll threaten to send other information out and that. Don't ever pay that. Get law enforcement involved. We can help. We have resources and to help try to mitigate the loss or the exposure.
Always better to get some help from our local law enforcement when something doesn't seem quite right, to, at the very least, help yourself out, but possibly help many others not fall victim to these scams and these scammers across our local area and far beyond, trying to take your information and your money. Detective Lillard, thank you so much for your time today.
You're very welcome.
And once again, great information protecting local residents from possible internet scams that we can be victims of. So just be aware of that, and you can keep up with different things that West Bloomfield Police Department puts out to help you on their Facebook page, West Bloomfield PD, for more information. Keep up with Civic Center TV on all digital platforms, on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. We're also on YouTube, Instagram, and X, the app formerly known as Twitter, at Civic Center TV. And of course, always at CivicCenterTV.com. I've been your host, Kevin McIntosh. We are live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.